Okie doke. So I'm going to start at the bottom of 145, even though I know that we read through the top of the other page. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We can read again. So anybody who is reading today, I know Wilson is not reading today, but anybody who is reading today, please put your monitor on so that I can see you, so I can acknowledge that you're going to be reading next. And if I don't see you, then I won't call on you. Beverly, are you there? Okay, maybe not. And Sandy, I see you, and Hans, I see you. So here we go. This chapter is called Angelic Choirs, and I'm on the bottom of page 145. If the mechanism of the service is understood in a practical way, we can cooperate with the beings of higher dimensions who are the real directors of the service, not only for their purposes, which result in a slow general evolution, but also for the possible early evolution of ourselves, so that we are able to earn our own place in the work. Pass to Sandy.
Thank you. If we understood the importance of prayer absolute, we would make any efforts necessary to perform this service continually. If our daily needs were provided for in some way, even taking turns by shift on a 24-hour basis, as do many workers in ordinary industrial occupations. And I'll pass. Now we can't hear you, Pat. You're still muted.
Beverly, are you reading today?
Yes, I'm reading.
Top of page 146, second paragraph.
Thank you. During prayer absolute, we can work not only for the absolute, but also for ourselves. I'm so sorry, my alarm just went off, so I'm going to have to leave for a minute, but I'll be right back.
Can't hear you, Beverly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. During prayer absolute, we can work not only for the absolute, but also for ourselves. That is, we can prepare ourselves for the work by deliberately identifying ourselves with one of the working beings in the higher dimensions, which we call the angelic choirs, learning its period of breathing, its higher mental functions, its higher emotional moods and raptures, and its working postures. Should I choose?
Thank you. Jayesh?
I'll go next.
Yes.
I'll go next. Give me a few.
I think he wants.
You
yeah.
need our page number, Jayesh. We're on page 146, starting on
I think.
starting on the
Sorry.
third paragraph.
I think he said he wants to be the next, not to go now,
Oh,
but
not
after
this
the
next. After
Yeah.
the next.
Okay.
Yes.
It's okay. What is the page number?
Okay.
Page 146. And Beverly just finished reading the paragraph that started with during prayer absolute. So then you're going to be starting the paragraph that says, then by constant practice.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then by constant practice, we can align ourselves to the rhythm of its work until we are one with it, or, in other words, indistinguishable from the higher being performing this eternal service for the support of the throne, thus taking upon ourselves the same qualities as the higher being, at the same time also taking upon ourselves the corresponding responsibilities and obligations. I'd like to read this again.
And I was just going to ask if you wouldn't mind, please give it to us again. That is a tough one.
Yeah. Then by constant practice, we can align ourselves to the rhythm of its work until we are one with it, or, in other words, indistinguishable from the higher being performing this eternal service for the support of the throne, thus taking upon ourselves the same qualities as the higher being, at the same time also taking upon ourselves the corresponding responsibilities and obligations. I'll pass.
Thank you. Hans, your turn, man.
Angel training is a cunning method of drawing down the essential qualities of one of the higher beings in the work, performing their work in higher dimensions, so that we may practice these work methods and form an angelic work identity with one of the angelic workers. Pass.
Sure. The work of each of the higher dimensions requires a new and unique initiation, because the work data for the next ascending dimension dawns upon one very slowly, long after the previous work has been mastered. Pass to Sandy.
These initiations into the work of higher dimensions cannot be transmitted by oral information, university style. They can be acquired only by the higher use of attention, concentrated in the most intense study of the biological machine while it is temporarily under the influence of the work of higher dimensions. I'll read that again. These initiations into the work of higher dimensions cannot be transmitted by oral information, university style. They can be acquired only by the higher use of attention. Concentrated in the most intense study of the biological machine, while it is temporarily under the influence of the work of higher dimensions. And I'll pass to Pep.
And what good would the most intense study of the machine be under those conditions if we did not already know ourselves? By which I mean, if we had not already studied the machine and its mental, emotional, and moving activities under ordinary conditions. I'm gonna read that again, okay?
Sure.
And what good would the most intense study of the machine be under those conditions if we did not already know ourselves, by which I mean if we had not already studied the machine and its mental, emotional, and moving activities under ordinary conditions. Tamara?
No,
Tamara's
she's not reading. It's Jayesh.
Oh, she's not. Okay. Jayesh.
Give me a second, okay? I'm just transitioning to something.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we must, right?
Yes.
We must be able to know what is different about the machine when it is acting under the influence of beings of higher dimensions, and for this we must know the machine under ordinary conditions. In order to learn anything new, we must know what is common to the machine to begin with. To use the machine for the study of another higher being, we must already know the machine as it is, objectively, impartially, as an appraiser is able to study the object under appraisal. We must know ourselves.
Okay, let's go to Bernie. Are you ready to read? Or do you want to wait?
147 said.
We are paragraph 5. We can study.
Okay, just give me.
Okay.
We can study the activities of the warden angels of the 7 celestial choirs by observing the activity while we are under the influence of their beings. When we are under their influence, our actions will closely resemble their actions. It is only necessary to invoke their presences upon ourselves, and while under their influence, observe their manifestations closely. And I pass.
Thank you. Now, pop quiz. What? Yes, Hans. What is it? What is it, Hans?
I don't know.
Okay, the pop quiz is, what is this paragraph talking about? What is this chapter talking about? What are we reading? Clue. Read the foreword to this chapter 14 on page 143. to get your bearings. Because if you're like me, you're like in the middle of this conversation that's just like going way over my head.
The forward is the first paragraph at the beginning of the chapter, right?
Right underneath the title, and it's in bold print.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just always scared to go there in my PDF because then I can't find where I am right now, but I'm gonna take a chance.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take a chance. I
Yeah,
know
I didn't
Aren't
know
we
what
in
it was.
angel training?
We are on angel training. Yes. Are you reading now, Wilson? Or are you just staying with us?
I'm just listening and,
Okay.
piping in.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read that?
I'm going to ask Nishant to read that.
Okay. You ready to go, Nishant?
Yes,
Good.
thank you. Angelic choirs. Angel training is a method of drawing down the higher mental, emotional, and moving postures from one of the angelic beings who is already in the work, so that by observation we may practice these work methods and form an angelic work identity with one of them.
Okay. Now back to page 147. The top of the page, it's talking about the initiations. Before we get to that one, go to the bottom of page 146 where it says angel training. So let's try and connect a little bit of this up a little bit. The preface to the chapter said angel training is a method of drawing down. This paragraph says it's a cunning method of drawing down the qualities of the higher beings, performing their work so we may practice their methods and form an identity with one of the workers. Are we getting any closer here? Has anybody been a Boy Scout?
I have one example I want to share.
I was a cub
Yes.
and a forest warden.
Oh, that's a good one. Hey, go, Nishant. Go ahead and tell us what you were thinking there.
So, there was a mystic, his name was Osho. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
He had a unique style of talking, with his hands and the way he talks, the way he wears clothes and, a cap and all those things. So, and he left body, 69 or something, long time back. But I was watching a spoof video. There was one comedian, who was trying to emulate the way he talks, the way and just making jokes.
Yeah.
And I realized even when he's trying to make jokes, the way he's saying and doing things, it was like an invocation.
Right.
It worked as an invocation, even when the intent was not from his end. I think for me and, I think for people who follow him, and it kind of almost felt like, okay, this is how it is working. So
yeah, and there's some cues in here. I'm trying to get us so that we're going every week now, so we have more content to really chew this next week. But this paragraph on 147 says, in order to learn anything new, we must know what is common to the machine to begin with. To use the machine for the study of another higher being, we must already know the machine, this machine, as it is, objectively and partially, as an appraiser is able to study the object of appraisal. We must know ourselves. So the content for me in this chapter has to do very specifically with how the self-study, part of the earliest work that I did, applies to what's being discussed here, which is, as far as I can see, we're forming a relationship with an angelic being.
It has been my understanding that EJ is in conformity with the angel Gabriel. We have the
Yes.
Gabriel papers,
Exactly. Yes.
and I spent some time with Drew Crystal, who said that, he worked with the angel Michael. And then, and they were both in the work, but their manifestations were different, and their, what they were doing in service also differed.
Yes. And you can cheat and turn the page and look on page 149, where it has a list of the initiating angelic beings, and you'll see both of them there. Michael is from the 4th choir or hall, and Gabriel is from the 1st choir or hall. It is very specific. It is way out of my range of personal experience, but I can associate some of the content to personal experience. And I think that makes it possible to walk a little ways inside what's being offered in this chapter, which is basically saying we can practice work methods from observing angelic work entities. And then the manner in which you can do that is what we have to look at.
Well,
Okay,
where do we observe angelic work entities?
You mean the next paragraph?
No, I mean, where do we observe angelic work entities?
It's
Sorry.
Well, for me, it's been, EJ and Drew Crystal and Rabbi Zalman. I also saw, in one very deep session with Zalman, sort of like a cloud descending down around him. And, it was so intense, I had to stand up so I didn't, pass out. So, there are angels among us in my way of thinking.
Could this be the same as, I mean, the only experiences I could say that I've had that might be like that, is being around Rinpoches, because that's been most of my experiences. I only met EJ once, and it was almost like just a brief comedy show for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes at the most, and that was it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I met Rinpoches, being involved in the Chogyam Trungpa school and living in a monastery in Cape Breton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's it.
Yeah. Exposure in one form or another is probably something that we've all had to some degree. May not be exactly as described in this text, but the affinity for the work and exposure to those who are in the work, angelic entities and others, that's not necessarily something you're going to put on your resume, but it is something that by orientation or affinity, you're already exposing yourself because of the experiences that you're going after.
But
Yes.
Exposing myself to being an heretical apprentice. I, to be honest, I cannot, I cannot, not the word can. I do not buy this thing of the angels, mostly because once I asked a very, I think, authority figure about this thing of the angels, and he smiled and he said, there are latent powers inside human beings. There is no existence, and in the Catholic Church there is a lot of pressure for angels and angelic beings when we are children. The angel of the guard, guardian, el ángel guardián. But to be, maybe in this case, it's heretical posture. I read this and I ask myself about the existence of this. Because we tend, I think we tend to idolatry. So I don't know if the word is in English, is that the idol. The idol.
Idolize. Yes.
Idolize. No?
Idol. Yeah.
And many of us have been exposed from childhood to this kind of figures. Anyway, I don't believe, and I believe. So I wanted to share that my apparent posture to this. Anyway, I read it with a lot of interest, of course, but I insist. A figure that I think as very authoritative. He smiled when I asked the question. He said, "There are only ways of mentioning, experiencing the latent powers of the human mind or whatever."
Okay.
Anyway, that is.
Could you understand them as frequencies? I mean, when I work with the Angel's Healing Journey, each day of that reading, there is a particular frequency. And yes, a name is given and some attributes are given. But, I don't, see them so much as form as much as like a field of frequency.
Yes, I understand. Yes, I think I am more in that line and not representing myself, a human figure that has wings. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we need to think in that terms. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wanted to share that because I need to.
Yes.
I need to. Thank you.
I can see wings behind you. Just kidding.
My God, you are right. Oh my God, yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
I will fly.
And who is the next reader? Michelle is not reading. Jayesh, did you read?
Where do we start? Sorry.
Oh, okay. We're on page 147. And I don't remember if you read or not.
I think it's Hans's turn.
Yeah, maybe.
Good. Hans, please, you pick it up. Yes.
Where are we?
That's a good question. Look at page 147 and pick any paragraph you want.
Any paragraph I want.
Yes,
Wow.
any paragraph
Isn't that generous?
Well, the group has been all over the place, so it won't make a difference to any of us. Go
Okay.
for it.
Gee, that's a toughie.
Oh, come
Okay.
on. Pick one.
Yeah, I will. Okay. I'm not going to do the obvious. I'm going to
Okay.
go with pre-obvious. We must be able to know.
Paragraph 3.
Is that paragraph 3?
It is. Go for it.
Okay. Paragraph 3. We must be able to know what is different about the machine when it is acting under the influence of beings of higher dimensions. And for this, we must know the machine under ordinary conditions.
Thank you. Pass to Sandy.
In order to learn anything new, we must know what is common to the machine to begin with. To use the machine for the study of another higher being, we must already know the machine as it is, objectively, impartially, as an appraiser is able to study the object under appraisal. We must know ourselves. And I'll pass.
Thank you. Beverly.
We can study the activities of the warden angels of the 7 celestial choirs by observing their activities while we are under the influence of their beings. When we are under their influence, our actions will closely resemble their actions. It is only necessary to invoke their presences upon ourselves, and while under their influence, observe their manifestations closely.
Thank you. Bernie. Oh, no sound.
I wanted to say that this
Yes.
paragraph that Beverly read,
Yes.
under the influence, it's cited 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Yes.
And by association, a thought came into my mind, whatever. You know, the old Greeks, they invented a very nice for them technique that free themselves from responsibility because they were acting under the influence of gods.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it has some kind of connection, but in this paragraph, 1, 2, 3 times, it is repeated under the influence. I don't know. It has something, I don't know the connection, but there's something there working in me. So I share it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hmm.
Do you know that expression in general in the American context or the European context? When people
No.
say you're under the influence, they either mean it like you've taken something externally, like a drug or alcohol or whatever, or you are being submissive to some alternative, rationale, a person or a teaching or a thinking or whatever.
Mm.
That's the context in which I think that expression is being used in both ways. And there's probably other ways too. Because if you think about it, influence is not necessarily sufficient to make decision. It's the leaning towards something. It's not necessarily the taking the step towards something. That's how I'm reading this paragraph, because it says we observe their activities. We're not participating in them, we're observing them. So, and we look to see what our actions are in relation to theirs.
Yes, I get
So
it.
it's this kind of comparison thing. It's not direct at this point.
Yes, I understand. And the next paragraph stresses that point. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Then you go for the next paragraph.
Of course,
Yes.
our own manifestations must not be active, which is to say, the mechanical manifestations of the machine must not dominate our activities during these invocations of presences belonging to and working in higher dimensions. It is taken for granted that we have studied our machines and that we know them well enough to be able to use discernment to separate the manifestations of the machine from manifestations not belonging to the machine, which would be those manifestations we would be interested in studying. Yeah. At the same time, the mechanical moods and thoughts of the machine must also be put aside for the duration of the invocation. And I pass. Thank you. I get it.
Yeah, thank you. That's a heap, isn't it? It's a big challenge. Nishant, would you carry on for us, please?
It's the last paragraph, right?
So,
Okay. I think
paragraph 3 on page 148.
Oh,
No, maybe. I don't know.
okay.
Maybe the one before that. Maybe the second one.
The we can learn.
Beacon?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We can learn a great deal about the work of higher dimensions and prepare ourselves mentally, emotionally, and actively for this work, if only the manifestations of the machine, including its automatic thoughts and emotions, can be quieted down for a while. We can begin immediately the invocation of the angelic wardens of the 7 celestial halls, if only we know who they are. Okay, pass.
Thank you. Jayesh.
Sure, thank you. Study everything that you are able to find out about them, and by mimicry of their individual characteristics and unique attributes, draw them down over yourself until you feel yourself to be under their influence, while at the same time divesting yourself of all the usual manifestations of your own machine, its behavior, thoughts, and emotions. then using the fullest possible force of attention and even talking hypnagogically to a scribe who can write down your observations. Watch them at work. Apprentice yourself to them in this way by allowing your biological machine to intensely follow their activities and at the same time intensely observe the machine while under the influence. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Alrighty. Are you reading now, Hans, or are you away?
I'm here.
Good. How about page 149? Here is a list of the initiating angelic beings. Go for it as much as you want.
Okay. I'm going to read the whole thing.
Oh, yay! We'll shout amen and hallelujah in the background, okay?
Okay. Angelic choirs, page 149. Here is a list of the initiating angelic beings. Warden angels of the 7 celestial choirs. First choir or hall. Ruler, Gabriel, Sierra, Putrechiel, Tetriose, Zortek, Mufgar, Ashrule, Sabriel, Zahabriel, Tandal, Shakad, Jose, Dehebrion, Adriordian, Kahabiel, Tesabriel, Teshabriel, again, Tehuriel, Jekusiel, Tufiel, Tahariel, Mikael, Shoal, Chevelle.
Thank you.
I don't know how anyone can do that, like
Right.
without
There
a
are some
pronunciation thing.
there are some extremely funny, but mostly from the 20s and 30s skits that you can find online of people singing the lists of the choirs of angels.
You know, I'd like to put all those names into Google,
Yeah,
and I hope to God that the pronunciation little speaker would come up so I can press that and it would tell me the pronunciation.
sure. Or just go to your local rabbi because they're all Jewish.
They are all Jewish?
The names are Jewish, yes.
Uh-huh. Huh.
Second choir or hall ruler, Raphael. Tagriel Mastiel, Sariel Arfiel, Sahariel Sacariel, Ragiel Sahibiel. Pass to Sandy.
Third choir or hall. Ruler, Anahel. Shaburiel, Retzutziel, Shalmiel, Savliel, Harhaziel, Hadriel, Bezriel, and I'll pass.
Beverly.
Fourth choir or hall. Ruler, Michael. Pactial, Vertial, Kuziel, Shekiniel, Shutukiel, Arviel, Kafiel, Anfiel.
Thank you. Bernie. Sound.
Okay.
Yay.
Fifth square or hole. Ruler Sandalphon. Techial, Uzial, Mial, Gamrial, Sefrial, Garfial, Grial, Drial, Paltgrial.
Thank you. Nishant.
Sixth square or hall. Ruler. Zachiel. Rumiel. Cadmiel. Gehegiel. Ursa Braspiel. Egrumiel. Parziel. Mackiel. Tufriel.
Thank you. Jayesh.
Thank you. Seventh choir or hall, ruler Cassiel, Zeburiel, Turtbebiel.
You know, I say that Bernie, Nishant, and JS, they got the best ones and they did it the best. But you know what? I think that the trick with those, all these, what we just did, is you say it really fast. Really fast.
Well, it's
So,
fortunate for us we don't have any Jewish speaking critiques folks around. So if we're not doing it right, no one's going to tell us.
Right.
Then,
I could do it in Yiddish, but not Hebrew.
Yeah. Yeah. But there is the content of this list serves a purpose later on. So we will keep going a little bit. We've got a few minutes. So Bartleman, it's your turn. Top of page 150.
okay. Enoch, who began life as an ordinary human being, eventually became, by assuming the post of the angel Metatron from meta, which means beyond, and tron, which means throne, the direct representative of the divine presence of the effulgence of the absolute.
Metatron, who receives all prayer and passes it through his own being, preparing it for use by the absolute, exists only one dimension removed from the absolute dimensionless dimension of the endless creator. Metatron is perhaps the greatest of all heavenly hierarchs and is the first and last of the 10 archangels of the angelic world. Pass. Sandy.
He, excuse me, he has been called the King of Angels, the Prince of the Divine Face, the Prince of the Divine Presence, Chancellor of Heaven, Angel of the Covenant, Chief of Ministering Angels, and the Lesser YHWH, or Yahweh, the fourfold sacred name, the Tetragrammaton. He is charged with the sustenance and continued evolution of human beings, and as the Messiah, forms the bridge between human beings and the divine absolute. And I'll pass to Beth.
Metatron, who also happens to be the heavenly scribe, charged with writing down every revelation, and not only every major revelation, but every little side comment, and even incomplete sentences and strings of totally incoherent gibberish uttered by the Absolute, has been known to manifest in our lower dimension in the form of the dark angel who wrestled with Jacob at Peniel. Once in a while, he will also appear to us in a form similar to that of the Watcher mentioned in Isaiah 21.
Thank you. Okay, Bernie, give us a couple more paragraphs and then we'll close for today.
Okay. Another of his names is the Logos. He has been identified as the Archangel Uriel, and it is recorded that during one particularly black moon on a particularly black Monday, he appeared as the infernal angel Samael. The Shekinah is Metatron in his female aspect, as is evidenced by the existence of the creation. Even the Absolute gets into drag once in a while. Metatron is also his own twin brother, the angel Sandalphon, and it is from him that the saying originates, "I am my brother's keeper."
Okay, I'm going to let Nishan and Jayesh have the final word here. Nishan, will you give us the next one, please?
Yeah. Metatron resides beyond the throne as the canopy of the dwelling place of the Absolute. He appears, when invoked, as a pillar of fire, his face more dazzling than the sun. And it was probably this form of Metatron who was contacted by Moses, and not our endless creator.
Thank you. And Jayesh, give us this last one, please.
Thank you. Metatron is spoken of as Moses' rod, from one end of which issues life and from the other end of which emanates death, a vision which can easily be seen from the viewpoint of the absolute crucifixion.
Thank you. Now, if you're up for it, this week, go ahead, finish reading this chapter, which goes a long, long way. And then when we come back together, I'm going to have us take a couple of looks at the couple of charts that we've got. We've got this Angels of the Seven Celestial Choirs, and we've got a few other diagrams. And just see if you can start getting some kind of a picture of the order that's being described here, because I think it will help us with the descriptions of what this is about, what is happening, what it's for, why they do it. But for now, does anybody have any questions?
No question.
I know it looks like a sigil from what I see.
Is this
Okay.
the halls? They are the same as in the Angel's Healing Journey, right? First hall, second hall.
Yes.
And because every hall has 7 reading.
Yep.
So this is this the first one has more than 7. 1, 2.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same, because in the angel's healing journey, the 7th one,
Yeah.
all of the angels are female.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And with the different names that are listed here.
Yeah.
So is it connect to angel's healing journey or not?
In some ways, the descriptions of the angels in this book are specifically related to the context of what the task is that's given in this work, which is you can be of service to the absolute. How can you do that? And these are some of the descriptions of the manners in which you can do that. In Angel's healing journey, my picture of that is it is a resonance chamber that is getting a name. And so the vibration is what is being described, not the technology of the capacity of the angel. So that's how I get it. But, you need to put a lifetime into studying this kind of stuff, and I haven't. I've studied ABD, I have not studied hidden work.
A number of the angels that are listed here do occur in the angel's healing journey, like Metatron that we've been talking about is there, and
Yeah.
Tagriel, and
Yes.
the so there is some crossover, but it's not an exact
No.
1-to-1.
No.
So maybe possible that the healing journey is only for angels who heal. Not every angel is for healing.
Oh, okay. That would be a good thing to investigate. Yeah. And you can, you can cheat and go a little bit ahead, and you can see that there is the periodic table of angels, which does another whole overlay, putting a chemistry picture on it, putting periodic table of angels, as in, they've got sodium and all these different elements.
Oh.
Okay, that's another looking at it. But the idea that I'm suggesting is that you go back and read this chapter, or even some of the prior chapters, to see how these characters, is how I think of them, how they are of use, or how they fit into the picture of what is the work of the hidden work. What is the job being asked to be done there?
Yeah. What my 2 cents is, one page for all the warden angels, right? And the Metatron got a nice treatment of
Yeah,
describing everything. Like, okay, he got 2 page for it.
Yep. And it's probably a good time for you to read the little letter at the very back of the book. Dear reader of the hidden work, this book was passed over previously by author and publisher because of the profundity of the material, the need for expansion of the text, and the requirement of a strong background in both theory and practice. So you can entertain yourself with that little letter, which is justification for putting this book out. Well, I do enjoy myself, but we are at the end of our period. And so goodbye, everybody,
Thank
except
you.
for Hans.
Thank you.
I'll
Bye-bye.
give you the page counts.
Bye, all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a wonderful week. I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
See you
See
next
you in
week.
the morning, or see you tomorrow night, or whenever it
Sooner
is.
than we ever did.
For the hidden work next week for sure. I like this once a
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do it with this book. It's so intense. I couldn't wait the 2 weeks. It's just too much.
I cannot wait to go back to first page again. All right, bye.
That's I agree, Jess. We should just start the whole book all over until we get it right.
Funny.
Let the secret out.
Secret.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Very happy to see you all.
Thank you, everybody.